Coming up, Amazon set to open a new fulfillment center in Fargo. What they're offering while trying to hire as the labor shortage continues.
Which North Dakota town is reporting a COVID outbreak affecting 20% of students and staff?
And a Grand Forks man gives credit to a treatment that he says kept him out of the hospital after contracting COVID. Valley News Live at 10 at 11:03 starts now.
This is Valley News Live at 10.
Hey, good evening, everyone. The new Amazon facility is set to open in North Fargo in just 10 days.
With a continuing labor shortage here in the Valley, the online retailer is offering extra benefits to attract new hires. Valley News Live's Aaron Walling joins us in studio with more. Aaron.
Well, thanks, Tom. The Amazon facility is right around the corner, and they are hoping to create 1,000 new jobs in the market. And they have plans to help their employees with college plans. The company has set up Career Choice that will be starting up in January. They will pay for full college tuition that includes associate's and bachelor degrees. Prepaid fees will kick in rather than reimbursements, and limitless learning, which means employees will have no time limit to these benefits as long as they're still employed with Amazon. Now, Tom, the new facility will be paying new time workers $15 an hour, full medical, vision, and dental insurance. And with the new hires coming from the Fargo, Morehead area.
Right, Aaron Walling reporting for us live in studio tonight. Aaron, thanks a lot for that.
A small-town North Dakota school district is dealing with the COVID-19 outbreak, prompting school board members to put new mitigation measures in place before the situation gets worse. Richland 44 schools reported 20% of its population was absent this week, mostly due to COVID-19. The school has just 275 students and today reported 30 active cases.
We weren't seeing this uptick as school started. So as our school board prepared to return to school, there wasn't data at that point to indicate that we were going to see an increase like this.
Superintendent Brittany Gandhi says the district has now created a short-term virtual learning program for those who are sick. The county could implement more mitigation measures if needed, but for now, Gandhi says masks will remain optional.
2 days after a high-risk man from Grand Forks tested positive for COVID-19, a doctor ordered him to be treated with a monoclonal antibody infusion. The 61-year-old diabetic, Mehrdad Afarsharmir, believes the treatment kept him out of the hospital. He says the treatment is quick and effective.
Considering how devastating COVID can be, I think this infusion gives at least the opportunity to some people, probably most people, not to be hospitalized.
An official with the North Dakota Department of Health says the sooner people who are COVID-19 positive get the monoclonal antibody infusion, the more effective the treatment will be at preventing hospitalization. And it's free. The federal government distributed the antibody supplies at no cost to patients, but some hospitals may charge an administration fee.
We're told nearly half of North Dakota's population has received a COVID-19 shot, with some now waiting for a booster. While some experts say boosters will likely be necessary at some point, officials with the World Health Organization say to hold off. They want countries with large supplies of vaccine to delay giving boosters in order to shift supplies to poorer countries struggling to vaccinate their populations with the first dose.
I suppose if they really needed it.
But I really would like to get my booster too.
The FDA authorized booster shots on August 12th for people who are immunocompromised.
With booster shots ready to be provided in the next couple of weeks, an official with the AARP in North Dakota is asking for a scheduled plan or prioritized list of those who should receive the booster shot first. Josh Ackvig, state director for the AARP, sent a letter to Governor Doug Burgum urging the state to come up with a comprehensive plan for the release of the booster shot. He wants the plan to take into consideration what he calls the fall-throughs from the initial rollout, as well as those who would benefit most from the vaccine booster.
But I think time is a little bit of the essence, and the sooner we can get that out, the better it will be for all North Dakotans, but especially those age 50 and older, to find the booster shot and get the shot.
No word yet on when or if the state will come up with a prioritization plan for the booster shot rollout.
The Biden administration is taking aggressive actions to battle COVID-19, unleashing a new plan to fight the challenges that are fueling the pandemic. Chris Wynn is in Washington with the latest.
My message to unvaccinated Americans is this: what more is there to wait for? What more do you need to see?
President Biden unleashing new efforts his administration is taking to battle the coronavirus pandemic, which are vaccinating the unvaccinated, further protecting the vaccinated through booster shots, keeping schools open, increasing testing and requiring masks, protecting the economic recovery, and improving care for those with COVID-19. President Biden has signed 2 executive orders requiring all federal employees and contractors to be fully vaccinated.
If you want to work with the federal government and do business with us, get vaccinated.
We are very confident that pulling this lever of vaccination requirements across 100 million workers will have a big impact.
By order of the Biden administration, the Labor Department will now require all private businesses with 100 or more employees to ensure their workers are either vaccinated or tested once a week. The president's plan already receiving pushback. GOP Governor of Arizona Doug Ducey tweeting, "This is exactly the kind of big government overreach we have tried so hard to prevent in Arizona." Now the Biden-Harris administration is hammering down on private businesses and individual freedoms in an unprecedented and dangerous way. This will never stand up in court. In Washington, I'm Chris Wynn.
Across the country, fewer people are applying for driver's licenses, but the numbers are growing here in North Dakota. The State Department of Transportation says it's been trying to stay ahead of the curve in providing easy and timely access to services.
We're getting more into the technology and more keeping people out of the office as much as we can. So that may be, people are so used to that perception of, the driver's license is always so busy. There's always people lingering around and they're upset because they got to wait so long. We've really pivoted away from that. And we still are doing the same amount of work, if not more, because we're helping more customers, but it's quicker and we're able to keep that trend going.
With online and kiosk services, in addition to typical appointments, the Department of Transportation says long waits will rarely be a problem.
The United Nations has confirmed hackers breached its systems earlier this year. Unidentified hackers breached computer systems in April, and a UN spokesperson says since then, the agency has had to fend off related hacks. Multiple private cybersecurity experts have been warning that cyber criminal forums have been selling access to login credentials for software that the UN uses to manage internal projects. The software could provide valuable access to intruders looking to extort the UN or steal data.
Well, today marks the start of the 10-day celebration, the Greater Morehead Days. Events today included the picnic at the park at Gooseberry Mound. They had inflatables, music, games, and fun for those who attended. Organizers say all the proceeds will go to the Morehead Inclusive Playground, which they describe as an environment for all kids to enjoy.
That's what makes it worth it. That's why we're out here trying to fundraise and going to different events to raise awareness, and why we're here tonight, not just for our kids, but for all kids.
For the entire schedule of events for the Greater Morehead Days, you can visit our website and click on this story.
We're hearing tonight from a volleyball player at Wahpeton High who was injured earlier this week after diving for a ball during a match with Fargo Davies. Since it happened, there has been an outpouring of support for the 17-year-old. Valley News Team's Alex Larson spoke with the senior today about what happened.
You never know who's got your back until something happens.
It's the beginning of the last volleyball season for Wahpeton senior Kylie Storo.
I didn't know what was happening. I just woke up and everybody was around me, so that was kind of traumatic.
At a game versus Fargo Davies, Storo dove for the ball and hit her head on the court.
Complaining of severe pain in her back and in her neck and everything else really scared us.
The 17-year-old was wheeled off the court on a stretcher.
There was one point where she was getting quite cold out on the court laying there. And, some of the Davies parents didn't hesitate to grab sweatshirts from, other fans and bring them down to cover her up.
Davies and Wahpeton players then came together to pray for the injured teen.
To know that the Davies team was there for my team when I couldn't be meant so much to me. Just to see them all care and just come together.
Since the match, Storo's community, team, and other volleyball teams have reached out to her sending gifts, flowers, and encouraging messages.
The support has been amazing. I love how the community and everybody comes together in a time of need, and you couldn't ask for anything more.
I appreciate it so much.
The ER doctor at St. Francis told Kylie she doesn't have a concussion, but she will need to take the concussion test before she's able to practice or play. Alex Larson, Valley News Live.
West Fargo, Davies, and Breckenridge have all reached out to support Kylie. Still ahead tonight, renting a car could cost you more than you bargained for. Later, what you can do to keep scammers from driving away with your money.
But first, Hutch returns with a full look at your Friday forecast.